Hi guys, Sandro from Soundnews. My plane touched down yesterday in Poland, and this morning I met the wonderful Ferrum audio team and also the CEO of the company, Marcin Hamerla. Hi Marcin, it's nice to see you again and nice to talk with you again. It's really a great pleasure.
Yeah, so we meet second time this year, and we'll meet third time when you come to Warsaw, right?
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah,
So we'll have a nice dinner probably.
Ferrum party once
yeah,
again.
yeah.
4 years? By the way,
That will be the third year of Ferrum.
last year was the third year because I have a T-shirt with 3 years.
You are right. You are right. But I meant something different because that's kind of that was really third year of Ferrum, but that was the second year of Ferrum parties in a row. That will be the third.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, because before we couldn't have this because there were no. Do you remember? You still remember COVID times that we were closed in the house?
The worst part. Yeah.
That was the worst part. Right?
I was walking around the block with my kid, and I felt like a gangster,
Yeah. That was all crazy. It looks like a nightmare right now. So that was like this.
Yeah, I remember bad times. Hopefully those will not coming back.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So today we'll be talking about the history of Ferrum Audio, about the past, but also about the future. So I believe this will be a really cool video to shoot. And I'm located in this wonderful building. It tries to talk with me, but since I don't understand Polish, maybe Marcin can say a little bit about the history of this place and why it has something to do with Ferrum Audio.
This is a historic place. That was a former carriage house of the palace, which still is in the very neighborhood. Only after the war, when the palace was confiscated from the lords, the Polish state established here the museum, and this museum serves the purpose of showing the metallurgical heritage of our region.
Really interesting. So metallurgy, Ferrum Audio, there is a connection already.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes. That's a funny story because when we decided to start our own brand, we knew very, very well what and how we wanted to build. We had everything in our heads. We knew our own, the first product we wanted to build, exactly, what would be inside, what would be the feature set. But what we didn't have was the most important, for some people most important, and for the others it's least important. The name. We didn't have the name, and we had a brainstorm, and we started thinking how to name the company. The brand, sorry, because our company is called HEM. Which is Hem in Polish, and that was a group effort which gave the name, and the name is Ferrum Audio because we initially understood that our region is bound with the very characteristic part here is iron, the deposits of iron which were used in ancient times, to make tools and weaponry. And then it appeared that was even more funny that that iron was always present in my life. That was my family history. My family history, or it's bound. You can find this in musical instruments. My daughter was playing the piano, and the part of the piano is a big iron inside. And then I understood it's even about my personal name, because my name is Hamerla, which is what is hammer is. What hammer
of course.
is.
Actually, if you go to Ferrum Audio website, there is about us, and you can read about Ferrum Audio, how everything came together. Your father was a blacksmith, right?
That's
and
true.
And he forged iron for most of his life?
It's when kids or my kids laugh at me because I used to only for some time I used to use a phrase. It's more complicated. It's kind of everything in life is complicated. So my father was really a blacksmith. He was a good blacksmith. But at the same time, when he was doing his job, he was also repairing the trucks and other things. So basically, he was blacksmith and mechanic.
Okay.
So, car mechanic.
And your nickname was the Hammer. It was because of your name, or because you have a different character than others?
I think that was only because of my name. However, you know, sometimes some people tell me that my character is not easy. I don't know. I think that's pretty straightforward, but maybe I am wrong.
Okay, and also Ferrum means iron in Latin. So if you combine all of these stories together,
we got
Ferrum
Ferrum
audio
audio.
gets a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would like to add to this story?
I don't know. There are so many things, and when I start talking about this, it will last forever. You know, when I talk about things, it's always, you know, there is a loop inside the loop. So basically, let's keep it simple.
But the cases of your, of your units that you're making, are those made from iron?
Yes, that's iron. For several reasons, and basically, that's another iron here. That's another. So everything is with iron.
Everybody does it, from aluminum.
Not everybody. I mean, you know, there are two cases. I mean, two cases of cases. You can make it steel, and you can make it aluminum. And of course, you know, and there are always engineering choices here, because in our business, in high-end, hi-fi and high-end audio, that's kind of niche market. Okay, so you can. So in fact, we can simplify the story here about the cases to two cases. I mean, aluminum ones, which is milled, and the steel ones. But the problem with the milled ones, aluminum cases, is the price. And we never wanted to make super expensive equipment, because for me it makes no sense.
No, some brands, I'm sorry for disturbing, some brands are paying like half of the unit only for the CNC machining. So it doesn't make any sense to pay as much.
I think so. Basically, you know, good equipment, like everywhere, you have to pay the money, you know, for the quality, because you cannot do the quality things usually, you know, when you do not put enough money into the product. But at the same time, you know, above some level, it makes no sense at all. And I believe, you know, that's kind of when you do the milling, sometimes you have there is a justification for this. Okay, sometimes you have to do this, like the front panels or other things. But you know, when you make the whole enclosure out of the aluminum brick and you mill everything, it's really, you know, it adds the cost, but nothing more. It does not. It
sounds the same.
Yeah, the sound is the same. Yeah.
Yeah, so it makes a lot of sense why you are, choosing to have a great sound for quite an affordable price compared to others. Also, Ferrum audio. Why making audio equipment? It's something that is deep-rooted in your family, or it's something that is one of your biggest hobbies? I would really like to know, and my viewers probably as well.
It's kind of, that's bound with my life philosophy. I mean, you know, in your life, you do things on purpose, but as well, things happen on random way.
Of course, every time.
So basically, you know, always in my life, I had many interests. I was interested in archaeology, I was interested in ornithology, in physics, in chemistry, you know, all these things that lasted like 1-2 years, you know. And when I was a kid, I was switching, you know, to new interests faster. Then, you know, it lasted longer. And then when I was, when I finished the Lyceum, which is Polish high school, I believe.
High school.
I was 19. I decided, you know, to go to study engineering, because engineering was always, you know, kind of closest to me, because it's bound to, you know, the practice plus, you know, the science. So that was kind of perfect thing for me, and I understood, you know, that electronics would be the best. And when I graduated, I was doing during my student times. Of course, you know, I was interested in music, in audio equipment. We were saving the money to get the newest techniques.
It was, you know, those times.
Exchanging this, selling, you know, the older ones, getting the newer ones, and you know, it lasted years, and you know, and after and we were. It was the time, you know, when in Poland you go to we had this. renting places where you rented CDs. So we were renting, we were poor students, so we just, we went to the CD rent house. We rented some CDs, and we always agreed with my friends, what we rent. Then we were getting this for something like 1-2 days, and we're listening, and then we were usually recording them to the tape recorder to save the money.
Because I was doing those things as well, so
yeah,
don't
really?
worry. Yes, I was doing absolutely the same thing.
Yeah. But then there was a day when we were earning more in Poland. The salaries were higher, and at the same time the CDs, the prices of CDs were just a little bit smaller. So I could
afford.
Yeah, I could afford buying CDs. So I just get rid of the tape recorder. And all my cassettes, so I had only the CDs, and I switched, totally to CDs. So that was, and that was, I suppose, only after I graduated, and then, that was my, I was listening to music, I was, improving my sound system. I was doing other things for my life. I mean, I was designing military equipment, audio equipment, medical equipment. That was, nice. And then I had the opportunity to do something from audio, so I switched to audio. So that's why, that's the story. So it's a mixture of doing things on purpose, but, and following the dreams. But at the same time, it's about, the random things which happen in our lives.
You are totally right, and I'm glad that you follow your dream, and finally you are making your own equipment. You don't need to buy them anymore.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true.
Also, one thing: when we make new equipment, new things that will be revealed soon. For example, are you listening to them, or are you just doing some measurements via audio analyzers? Because some companies are doing just measurements, some companies are doing both. Some are just listening. It's very curious to know.
It's a long topic. It's a long topic. Okay, I will tell you how our design process looks like. For example, we are talking, we are doing some product. Let's say that we are doing product X. Okay, we are doing this in the same time, and we do always one product at a time. But then we start talking about the next product. That's there are just the discussions, and we discuss it. We chewed this new idea for some time. We think what to do, how to do, and then when the product X is very close to the launch date, we start the work on the new one, on the new product Y, for example. And then we sit again together, me, Max, and Paweł. Max is a hardware, let's say, Paweł is a chief of all R&D team, and Max is our wunderkind who overlooks the hardware part.
Yeah.
And of course, it always starts with the hardware side. Okay, so that's the first part. And Max has ideas what to do and how to do. Usually, I comment this, or I give my feedback, or I suggest what should be done. I still do it. However, I mean, my guys they do everything on their own, and I believe it should be this way because they are young. They have their own ideas, and that's how the development works. It shouldn't be like 70 years old guy who designs the stuff, because time is
changing. Yeah.
Time is changing. So basically, I'm 54 right now. So what I do is I just give them my opinion or my feedback. That's all. But I do everything on our own. So then Max has these ideas, Paweł comments them, and then what we do is we decide which hardware topologies are best. or when we decide, maybe we leave, some parts of the design as it is, and because, other are more important. There are always, discussions. And when Max makes all these proposals, makes the schematics, puts them into the computer, makes the simulations, looks, what is most promising, which is least, cuts, all the bad ideas.
Yeah.
Then he leaves like free. We make the hardware. I mean, not the whole board, new board. It's like, the critical parts. We made the prototypes, and then we debug them. We look, how they work, and then when they are done, we measure them. Because measurements is a critical.
It's also important. Yeah.
It's super important. But then when it is done, we do a listening session. Because it's kind of sometimes we had this situation that there are two, for example, there are two very close from the measurement point of view circuits. But then when we take them for the listening session, it looks that the one is much better than the other.
Sound is completely different, right?
Sound is different, and and what is but they measure same. But I need to tell this. Measurements are super important, and that's what we do. And measurements are like, when you do something, measurements are the easy way to see that something's wrong with the circuit. Because sometimes, that we are all humans. When you do the design, we always make mistakes. And design, and during the design phase and during the big debug phase, you have to remove, all the problems. And every design has these problems, and that's how this is called teething. So you do the design, when you debug this, you remove all the problems, and and it's about the quality of the initial design. If if the problems persist, usually there was something wrong with the design. But sometimes sometimes it happens that the idea is very, very new, so you have to put lots of effort to rectify the problems. But then you got the totally good thing, like with the jet engine. That was the same. They work first jet engines. I don't know. They work on them like 10 years, something like this.
So it's very good to know that you are measuring, but also listening.
Yeah.
Because there are some brands, I don't want to name them, that are just measuring. That's all. If they measure well, they are just released.
I know.
I don't like that part.
Yeah, I know, but some are not measuring at all, which is bad as well.
Yeah. Also, I see that you have a really young team of people.
Yeah.
And most of them are into music, I observed. They really like music. And I believe this part is also quite important when designing, new equipment, because you are, at the end of the day, you are listening to them, and you are deciding if this is good, this is bad. And this new, young team, this was done on purpose to have new ideas, to come with new ideas, to new concepts and so on.
I don't know. I suppose it's by accident. I mean, it's kind of. We had, we had older people working for us, but somehow, they are mostly young. I mean, and especially engineering team. Of course, I am not that young anymore, or I am still. I don't know.
Your soul is young.
My soul is young. So basically, but it's kind of accident that our engineering team is very young. It's kind of funny story, because Paweł I went to my university that was 10 years ago, looking, or no, it was 12 years ago, looking for some promising new guys. I went to my I don't know how it is in English, the promoter, that the guy who overlooks your work when you graduate. So basically, I visited him and asked him if he has a good hardware engineer, promising one. And he said he will look for somebody like that. And in the meantime, I hired a new engineer. And then I got an email from a new guy saying, I'm a student, I would like to work for you. And I said, but in the meantime, we hired somebody, we don't need anybody. But then he was asking, that he would love to work for the audio company because, he's audio guy. And I said, okay, come to us, we will find you something.
And this is Pavel?
And this is Pavel.
Wow, what a story.
Yeah, that's
really cool.
that was our good luck because Pavel is extremely talented guy. He's a very good engineer, extremely good engineer. And if I told him that time, no, we don't need anybody, I would be without Pavel, and my life would be just worse.
Okay.
And with Max, that's another funny story. Max, I knew Max when I met Max when he was like 2 days old.
Okay.
Yeah, really, because he's a son of my friend, one of my best friends, and when he was, I knew he was graduating, or no, he was graduating at the time, and he was looking for a side job, and he just found on my company on the internet, and he didn't realize it was my company, but he found the job description as very, very nice, and he wanted to do these things, and went to his father asking about the advice, and he said, "Do you know to whom belongs this company? To Hammer." I mean, to me.
Yeah.
And it was like, but anyway, he came, he started working for us, and again, that's my good luck, I have to say that, I am kind of blessed that
You're pretty lucky, I see.
Yeah, that all these people want to, despite my character, all these people, want to work with me.
So Marcin, I have a tricky question for you. Are there new developments ongoing right now at Ferrum Audio? And if you can say one or two, or if something is coming soon, and when exactly?
That's not a tricky question, but I won't answer this.
Okay, so something is in the works.
Yes, so basically our policy is not to reveal too many informations.
That's a very good policy.
Yeah, and there are several reasons for this. One of them is, of course, if we learned this hard way, that when you announce the product too early, the problems can always appear. Basically, when we have the new product, we just say this we will have. I can only say we will have, next year we are going to launch 2 products.
2 products.
Yeah.
Next year.
Yeah, next year. We will have something small this year as well, but it's kind of, not the major thing. And we will launch this small thing on Warsaw during the Warsaw show.
So cool. So
yeah.
I can shoot it and
can
check it out.
Yeah. So that will be something interesting, but not the major thing. It will be just kind of addition to our current line. For many people, that will be extremely interesting. For the others, no.
Okay.
And next year we are going to launch 2 products. One is about one we don't talk at all. I mean, it will be a surprise. And the other one we are going to launch streamer. That will be kind of specific thing. I mean, it won't be very typical, but with some nice features. But that will happen. I don't say when, because I don't want to create an impression. That I don't want to have as I said, the phones from every customer.
Yeah. It's really nice to know that you are working on a streamer. I won't ask anything about it, but it's a very good idea because that Wonder Duck, it surely needs.
Yeah.
To unleash the full potential.
I know, you are right.
Also, by the way, who is the brainiac of the company? And if you have such a man, he's the one that designs everything and you are not interfering at all, or you are coming with maybe, guide him, something like that?
We don't have such a person. Listen, that's kind of, in our industry, it's a popular myth or belief that there are these genius guys who are behind every project. It's not possible. When you do sophisticated equipment, modern equipment, there are always teams. You cannot do this without the team. You cannot say, I'm the main designer, or I am the principal designer, or blah, 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 all these things. There is, kind of, and there's always, and behind this title, there's always one person. This is very, very wrong. Even when, there are some people who do more, I mean, to wrap up, the product, it's not the single phase. That's why you ask about engineering team. Max, Pavel, and there are others. So basically, all our team is do the new design. That's my philosophy, life philosophy. That's why we, Pavel and Max, are are on the front end of our company, because I want people to understand that we are the team, we are the collective. So basically, this way we design things. And I said this before. I still give the feedback because I have the biggest experience, but it will be fading. I will be fading away in this case, because Pavel and Max will overtake the more and more responsibility for me, and in fact they did it already. So I don't know about very many details. They just say we do it this way because that's better, or and I just ask why did you do this way? Because, and there's a list, and I know that there are proper answers. So in case of Hypsos, I mostly, as I would say, I describe what we need to do in Hypsos, because because that was 5 years ago, nearly 5 years ago when we were started designing Hypsos. So I needed to do this, but these days, not anymore.
So they're basically doing what they think they should do. They should design and so on, and you are giving the green light, basically.
Yes, and I think that it should be this way, because when we are growing, we are getting older. We tend to do things in the same ways we did this before, and when you think about the real progress, the better equipment, better sound quality, you need to do things in new ways. Because doing things, because for example, there are these people say, this is a genius design from 60s, but basically, so do we need the engineering anymore? Let's copy all this design from 60s forever. It makes no sense.
Yeah, it does not. Yeah. Also, you told me that you are listening to music for a very long time. Tapes, cassettes, and so on.
Yeah.
So you have a hi-fi system at home. Are you listening to speakers or to headphones, or to both?
I have wife.
So you're listening to your wife?
Yes, but I have two headphone systems, exactly the same ones. So I had a speaker system at home many years ago, but for several reasons I needed to switch to headphones. And basically now I am headfire. So I would say, it's kind of, I would probably, I'd love to go back to speaker system, but but it's kind of impossible for me now. So because I needed, or I had to, I switched to headphone systems, but in the same time I like headphones anyway. So it is kind of, I don't know, how my life would develop, but for the moment I am headfire.
I like both. I have a stereo setup and a headphone setup, but also when my son was born, stereo was out of the window. He poked the tweeters of my loudspeaker. Yeah, and I need to repair them and then sell them, and it was a clear sign that I need to move to headphones.
Yeah.
And then when he was like 7 years or something, and I could explain that this is my place, so on and so forth. So I went back to loudspeakers. But right now I'm using them both, like 50-50.
Yeah.
And there's things that I can listen on headphones, and there are things that I cannot listen on loudspeakers.
Yeah.
Try listening to Metallica in a block, in a flat. It's impossible.
I know, and I know. Even I have a house, but even a house, you know, when there's my wife at home, you know, it's kind of, you know, listening to this music aloud. I cannot do this, so I do it on my headphones.
Yeah, but you can listen not exactly loud. You can go, you know, moderately loud.
Yeah, so I will. That's a good idea. I will listen to loud music, not in a loud way. No, I was joking, but listen to Metallica, which is be very quiet, makes no sense.
Yeah.
And I like, you know, I'm not listening. I'm kind of, you know, if I had to describe my music taste, I would say I listen to lots of music. Okay, probably I don't listen to pop at all, but you
too.
know, okay. but if I had to say one word, probably that would be I'm closest to kind of metal things, like, you know.
Wow, that is unusual, guys. Metal things.
Yeah.
Ferrum audio, metal things. It makes sense.
Yeah, again, that's again. Yeah.
Maybe next company should be Metal Audio or something like that.
Maybe, maybe. But really, that's really true what you noticed.
Also, I observed that you are reading a lot, so that is a very good thing.
What
see you are reading a lot, books. I see your posts on social media. Reading. So this is a very good thing, you know. When you are reading or when you are listening to music, are you having a drink or something like that, or just reading? You are just, you know, closing your mind. You're focusing only on that thing, or you are going somewhere to do that. Just curious.
It depends. I mean, you know, I read in the morning and in the evening. Usually, I wake up quite early, before my 1 hour before my family. I don't have an alarm clock, but I wake up natural way at 6 or something like this. So I do my breakfast. I go in summertime. I go to my terrace at home, and I am reading something and drinking coffee or tea. It depends upon my mood. But
the best combo.
The best combo,
yeah,
right?
Coffee and book.
Yeah. And then, you know, and it like, you know, at 8:30, I'm trying, you know, to wrap my things up and go to work. But as well, sometimes, you know, we sit on our terrace with my wife and talking in the evening, and then we have a glass of red wine. But, you know, sometimes. I start, you know, reading something. It depends. And then, you know, again, but I try to avoid alcohol these days. So basically, it's kind of, you know,
I'm doing the same thing, you know. Yeah, I'm also doing the same thing. I cut, you know, all the bread, all the sweets, alcohol, trying to be a little bit more.
Yeah, that's kind of, you know, it's killing us.
You start feeling on some, you know, that life is going forward and you want to live a little longer, so you start to make some changes in your life.
That's totally true. True. And besides, you know, your brain is sharper.
Yes, totally.
No. So mostly these days I drink tea. I mean, you know, it's kind of, I drink coffee till noon or something like this for some reasons, and then after noon I switch to tea. So evenings I drink tea mostly.
In the morning, only coffee, and when going to bed, I'm just reading for an hour. My eyes will be much more relaxed. If I have a phone in front of my face for an hour before I go to sleep, I cannot sleep.
Yeah, really?
So reading a book is calming somehow.
I think so.
It's much better for the eyes, and just you know, your mind is much more relaxed.
Listen, this phone thing. I mean, you know, I am 54, and it's kind of, I noticed, you know, that how addictive a phone is.
Yeah, especially for kids.
And you know, for me, and you know, what about the kids who are born with phones?
It's 10 times more.
Yeah, and what I did is I installed the Facebook and the Messenger from my phone. So basically, I don't, and it's much better for me because, you know, I scroll, I go to news or something like this, to the newspaper site, and so I still do this, but at the same time, the first Facebook was the worst. And fortunately, you know, I have Instagram, but I don't use it because I hate this.
You know, I use Instagram and Twitter only to share all the articles
Yeah?
and videos that I'm doing, nothing else.
Oh yeah.
It takes too much time. I don't have the time for that.
Yeah, I think
I'm
so.
sorry. Marcin, I see that we have a piano back there. Can you tell us more about it? It seems quite old.
Yes, the piano is a very old. This piano is an old piece. It is older than 200 years.
Okay.
Yeah, and basically it was built in Königsberg. That's now it's in Russia. Before that was Germany, and the company who built the piano is called Gebauer. Somehow it got and because this place is like 200 years old, and it was a gift from some museum in Warsaw, so it kind of it got its place here, new home place. But that's an antique thing.
So
That's all.
it came somehow around here and it stays here. And but does it working? Can you?
Not now. They need to put lots of effort, to make it work. Okay,
reconstruct.
Okay. So there are, in this place there are concerts every some time. We come here to listen to these concerts. This is small. Let's call it small concert hall, and this piano is working, which is here, and they use it, to play music.
So we are staying in this room where music is happening.
Yes.
So this also has a message.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
Marcin, thank you for everything that you are doing. Thank you for this interview. Thank you guys for watching, and please get subscribed because I'll have a lot more videos about Ferrum Audio that will be happening in the following days. So please come back.
How is it called? YouTubers always say, give the thumbs up. No, how is
Thumbs
it?
up.
Thumbs up.
Yeah. Okay, thumbs up, guys. I'll see you soon. Cheers. Bye.
Ciao.